I can see there are a few people who came almost all 3 days. Maybe I'm having an illusion, but it's okay because illusion is all I can deal with. In the first day, okay, first I need to say this is just a pre-show sort of warm-up thing. This is not the main course. The main unintroducible will be introduced later. Now I know that some of you are not here, some of you are beyond the ocean, early morning, midnight, watching this. So for them, I just want to share that our establishment here, something that we label as a Lichavi Griha, is, as Ayush has been very clearly introducing you, it is something to do with, art, contemplation, and a place where you can think of things that are not obvious. So at the Lichavi house, we all wish and have aspiration that this place will become some sort of a platform or a vessel for you to, if not ignite your curiosity, at least have some sort of a maintain the curiosity. There is somebody, I forgot the author's name because my memory is not good now. But this guy who said, it is easy to imagine the end of the world, but it's so difficult to imagine end of capitalism. Easy to imagine end of the world, but really difficult to imagine end of capitalism. So in this capitalistic sort of world, I think it is such a worthy thing to do, to have the curiosity to something that is not obvious. In Nepal, we do have a phenomenon called Manjushri. Manjushri is prayed to, people pray to Manjushri. People read about the Manjushri's accounts. And then actually in Nepal, I know that people even sing very important songs of Manjushri. And of course, if you were to ask who is Manjushri, then of course it depends on where you ask this. If it is in the statue shops, most probably there is a figure that's striking a sword and holding a book. Manjushri is also known and sought after or prayed by students, especially just the day before their examinations. I actually don't know why Manjushri is never prayed for wealth. For some reason, people don't seem to pray to Manjushri for money. So no wonder around the Bauddha stupa, there are more Zambala statues than Manjushri. Manjushri, but for some meditators, their approach and appreciation towards Manjushri is different. For someone, of course, it depends on what kind of, 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 seeker of Manjushri you are. Many would consider him as the deity that grant us the wisdom. And even that, the way we pray or where we try to get close to Manjushri differs. We pray to him as a guide, as a teacher, as someone who will show us the path, someone who would give us at least some sort of an indication. As in the great Shantideva, who wrote a very famous text called Bodhicharya Avatara, towards the end, he has this very special prayer. He said, when I wish to see and when I wish to ask, without any obscuration, may I see you, Manjushri. So, in this way, you could almost think that Manjushri is actually some sort of a being out there to whom you can call and you can actually approach. There are actually many compositions that is praised to the Manjushri by so many ancient scholars and the saints. But not only prayers, also there are mantras, the mantras of the Manjushri, dharanis of the Manjushri, 6 syllable of the Manjushri. There's a plenty of that. Then there's also different kinds of seeker of Manjushri, who may not necessarily see Manjushri as another external being, but who actually see this very mind that you have is Manjushri. This cognizance, this mind that you have right this very moment, this mind that is hearing what I'm saying, that is none other than the Manjushri. From this context, when we do the prayer, whenever I want to see and whenever I want to ask, may I always see you, Manjushri. This prayer has a different meaning. From this context, when we say, when I want to see Manjushri and when I want to ask Manjushri, we are only talking about the mindfulness of the highest level. Nagarjuna, one of the greatest commentators of Mahayana Buddhism, have praised Manjushri. He praised Manjushri as everything. And when he said everything, we are really literally talking about everything. This very gray, mundane, boring color of the floor, this cold feeling of the concrete, this is sound that is sort of like an echo-like. Each and every single thing that is happening and happened and will happen are Manjushri. Some of you may have read Bhagavad Gita. Just like that, so, since Manjushri is everything, today one of you, a lover, would give a bucket of rose to your lover, and you may think that he or she has received it, but it is not he or she receiving. It is Manjushri that is always receiving, no matter what you do. Nagarjuna said, Manjushri is not square, not triangle, not circle, not tall, not short, not small, not big. But at the same time, now Manjushri is all of that, tall, small, flat, round, everything. I know this is difficult for a lot of people here to sort of make sense of what I say. This is why we call it introducing the unintroducible. But all of you, and especially you Nepalese, you, till recently, you have the capacity to understand paradoxy. But I'm afraid you are losing it because Nepalese are becoming so-called modern. Nepalese are becoming so-called educated. Nepalese are becoming so-called straightforward, not paradoxical. Nepalese are beginning to become sort of sensible. You are beginning to cherish the common sense. And many of you young Nepalese, you are impressed with the science, which means you are scaling down to a being who is always looking for evidence. If you are only looking for something, something that has a proof, something that is sensical, at least half of your life is dead. We want you to really maintain and cherish this paradox. With this attitude in your being, in your head, I want you to enjoy the main part of introducing the unintroducible. You know, Kathmandu has a kind of a special relationship with Manjushri, which you will later find out. But all these things that I've just told you, for you, maybe it is too abstract. Maybe you want to go home with something that is concrete. You know, at least, we, the modern people, we always are looking for profit. What is it in it for us, for me today? I think I have already told you, the mind that you have, this is Manjushri. And this is something you cannot not have. You can even, if you don't want, I don't know, if you don't want your hand or fingers, you can chop it off. You can cut your hair if you don't like. You can burn down your house if you don't want. You can change your name if you like, which people do all the time. But no matter how you try, you will not be able to, forget getting rid of mind, even pause, even take a pause, you can't do it. And this mind that you have, if you don't know how to handle this mind, it is this mind that is making you really, really painful. Tonight, after we leave this room is not going to feel left out. These walls and these ceilings are not going to feel, oh, I'm not used, I'm not useful. These walls and these ceilings are not feeling jealous looking at some other beautiful ceilings and walls outside. These ceilings and walls are not eager to be beautiful and put foundations and, pedicure and manicure. Because these ceilings and walls don't have mind, but you do. And as I said, you cannot not have it. You cannot even pause it. But if you know how to handle this mind, then, as a great Saraha said, this is the treasure of all the treasure. So mind is something you have. After today, you can go home. You will have mind. But maybe from now on, you will acknowledge that you have mind. Probably more than acknowledging, you will even at times be aware of this mind. And actually, that is Manju. The word Manju has something to do with Manju has something to do with a smooth, all-pervasive, everywhere, all the time, cannot get rid of Manju. And this, if you know how to treasure it, this this mind is actually glorious. That's why Shri. And, by the way, in order to really get hold of this innate Manjushri, people do all kinds of things. People build statues. People buy statues. People paint statues. People think of Manjushri's names. People chant his names of Manjushri. And people sit hours and hours doing so-called mindfulness. It's all to really get acquainted with the Manjushri. To get acquainted with something that you cannot get rid of. But alas, we do forget to do that. It is with this also in this aspiration, we try to introduce you Manjushri through dance, through music, through telling stories. I'm going to stop talking soon, but I'm going to tell you, before I stop, I want to tell you this. In the Sanskrit language, there are supposedly more than 50 different terms for mind. And one of them is di. Di actually means awareness, cognizance, mind. It is therefore also believed it is sixth syllable of Manjushri. So, to prepare ourselves for the main event, let us invoke the mind. I don't know, let's go into mind by chanting Di. Okay, let's do it. Di 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 di. Swallow saliva. But saliva is not saliva. Remember, I said everything is Manjushri.